Welcome, dear learners. Welcome to the lecture series on investment management. Dear learners, in the last session, we are done with constant growth model. Now, till last session, we were discussing the common stock valuation models. Basically, the first model, we took the first category of models, that is dividend discount models, under which we are done with single period holding model, multiple year holding model, third model constant growth model. We have recently done with the constant growth model also. Now this lecture is an extension to the same dividend discounts models. In this lecture, we will discuss a new model and a new set of problems on the model. The name of the model, the next model, is multiple growth rate. Till the last session, in the last session we have done problems on constant growth model. We have seen number of problems. We have noticed that in constant growth model, in the question they were giving only one growth period. That means the dividends of the company were growing constantly at one rate. You could find only one growth rate in the constant growth rate model question. But coming to this model, in this model you will find two growth rates. So dividends of the company will grow as per two growth rates. That means they grow at first, for few years they grow at some rate, and after few years they start grow at different growth. They record different growth in dividends. Now when in the question if you see two growth rates, then we should note that this question to be solved using multiple growth rate model, or the question belongs to multiple growth rate model. Now let us look at a problem on multiple growth rate so that you understand this model. So here is the question we have. A firm is paying a dividend of rupees 1.50 per share. So a firm is paying a dividend of rupees 1.50 per share. So this 1.50 is already paid dividend. That means the current year dividend. So when current year dividend is given, we term this 1.50 or current year dividend is expressed using a term called D0. Full stop. The rate of dividend is expected to grow at 10% for the next 3 years and 5% thereafter infinitely. See, you should be careful here. They are giving two growth rates. The rate of dividend is expected to grow at 10% for the next 3 years. He says that the company will record 10% growth in dividends for the next 3 years. That means for the 3 years the dividends will grow at 10%. Thereafter, after 3 years, the growth rate will decline to 5% and it will be growing at a constant growth rate then. That means 5% thereafter infinitely till the company exists. So here in the question you can see two growth rate. One is 10%, one is 5%. Then this question belongs to multiple growth rate category. So find out the value of the share given that the required rate of return of the investor is 15%. This is cost of equity. Now let us look into the solution part. So here we have D0 is equals to 1.50. We have two growth rates. One is 10% for 3 years and 5% for infinite life period, and K is 15%. These are the necessary information supplied to us. So when you are using the multiple growth rate model, you need to carry out this problem or do this problem using some series of sequential steps. Now what are these steps? So step number 1, so these steps remain same for all multiple growth rate models. So the step number 1, the name of the step is calculation of dividend stream during supernormal growth period. So the first growth period, whatever is given, is termed to be supernormal growth period. So we need to calculate the dividend stream, the flow of dividends. So what is the supernormal growth period here? The supernormal growth period is 3 years. So first step is to calculate the dividends for these 3 years. Now the dividends for these 3 years are growing at a growth at the rate of 10%. So for these 3 years you need to first calculate the dividend stream. So see, we can calculate the dividend stream using this formula. So D1 is equals to D0 into 1 plus G. See, it is 1.65. So again D2 is equals to D1. Now where this D1? So D1 is 1.65, the last year. So for D2, D1 is the last year. For D3, D2 is the last year. So in the manner, you need to just bring this 1.65 here. You should find out D2. Then again, after getting D2, you need to bring this to calculate the dividend of D3. So this is how you calculate. If suppose there is D4, for example, you need to take the D3 dividend as base and calculate the dividend of D4. This is how you find out the dividend stream for the supernormal growth period, that is the first growth rate whatever is given for some of the years. So this is what is the first step. So you can see we have calculated. So the supernormal growth rate is what? 10%. For how many years? 3 years. So I have calculated for first year, second year, third year. See, one more thing. So here in the formula there is G and G. So in this place you will use the supernormal growth rate, that is 10%, 0.10, 0.10, 0.10. So you should use only supernormal, the first growth rate, because for the first 3 years the dividends are growing at a supernormal growth rate. So the first growth rate should be utilized for calculating the first step. Now let us move to the second step. Now once you are done with the first step, let us move to the second step now. So step number 2. Step number 2 is calculation of PV of dividend stream for supernormal growth period. See, we have already calculated dividend stream in the first step. Now here in the second step, you will calculate the present value of dividend stream using some table values. You will take out the present value. You will find out the present value of the future cash flows for the supernormal group. Here supernormal growth period is for 3 years and growth rate is 10%. So here we have already calculated the dividend stream. So here you are calculating the present value of dividend. So we know how to find out present value. So I will take one column years. So I have 3 years. So first year, second year, third year. So I have 3 years and I took the dividends. So this dividends is from what we have find. So the first year dividend was 1.65, second year dividend is 1.82, third year dividend is 2 rupees. See, in the first step we have found this dividends. So in the second step we are calculating the present value of this dividends what we have found in first step. So by seeing the A3 table, so see this PVIF at 15%, PVIF at 15%. From where they see, you need to make use of some tables. For your reference, we have inserted a link in the description box. You can download these tables or see these tables while doing the problems given in the description box using the link. Now let us see. So PVIF at 15%, that means you need to go to the present value interest factor, that is A3 table, and look into 15% table. So for your understanding, here I will be seeing, see A3 table 15%. This is 15%. So you can see 0.870, 0.756, 0.658. See dear learners, so our supernormal growth period is still 3 years. So you need to take only for 3 years. That's all. So by seeing this table, you will record these values. See 8.70, 0.756 and 0.658 I have copied from the table. So again then I assume this dividends to be A, PVIF values to be B, then C is equals to A into B. If you multiply A into B, you will get the present value of the dividend stream. Then you need to make a total of it. So the total is amounting to 4.14. See, you can see here it is 4.14. Now once you are done with this present value of dividend stream, next step is calculation of present value of equity share at the end of 3 years using constant growth model. See, after 3 years, now the shares will grow at other growth rate. See, we have two growth rates. So till step number 2, we have worked out till 3 years growth in dividends using a growth rate, that is you can see here, that is G1 is 10% and G2 after 3 years the dividends will be growing at 5%. So till 3 years we have calculated first the dividends and we have found in the step number 2 the present value of dividend streams. Now after 3 years the shares growth rate will decline. Now the dividends start grow at 5%. So now what we need to do is we need to first find the value of the equity share at the end of 3 years. So this can be done using constant growth rate model. So you know very well the constant growth rate model. You know very well because we have learnt the constant growth rate model in the earlier sessions. So using that model we will be solving the price of the equity share at the end of 3 years. So we know using the formula of constant growth model, P3 is equals to at the end of 3rd year. So D3 into 1 plus G by KE minus G. This is the formula. So P3. So price at the end of 3rd year is equals to D3. So D3 the dividend is 2 rupees. So 2 rupees into 1 plus G. You should be careful dear learners. So from the end of the 3rd year the dividends will start grow at G2. That is the second growth rate to be used here. Most of the students will confuse in this part because they start using again the G1 because now G1's growth rate 1 will be used only till 3 years because until 3 years dividends are received, so the growth rate is exhausted. Now the second growth rate will come into picture. So from the end of the 3rd year the second growth rate will come into picture. The second growth rate you need to use to find the price of the equity share. So here 2 into 1 plus 0.05 I took divided by KE minus G. So next is I have simplified here. So P3 is equals to 2 into 1.05 divided by 0.10, P3 2.1. So P3 is 21. Now step number 4, again you need to find the present value of P3. See, the first step is you have calculated the dividend streams. In the second step you have found out the present value of the dividend streams, the present value of first step. Third step you have calculated the price at the end of the supernormal growth rate or at the end of the P3. Then in the fourth step you need to calculate the present value of P3. So same. So the value I have PV of P3 is you need to take the P3 value into the present value interest factor. That is again by seeing the A3 table. You need to see the A3 table at what? 15% because KE is 15%. By seeing A3 table 15% for 3 years. 3 years, the value is 0.658. So at the end of third year, that's the reason we take third year. So 0.658. When I multiply, I obtain 13.82. So now the last step is, the final step is calculation of present value of the share. Now PV of present value of the share is equals to, you need to add present value of dividend stream plus present value of P3. Dear learners, present value of dividend stream is your step number 2 output. Step number 2 output plus present value of P3 is your step number 4 output. So if you add both step number 2 output and 4 output, you will get the present value of share. So step number 2 output is 4.14 and step number 4 output is 13.82. If we add both the things, we are getting 17.96. This is the value of equity share. So this is how you will be using this multiple growth rate model to solve or to obtain the value of equity share. If now this model to be used only when in the question the dividends grow at 2 different rates. So the first rate is assumed to be supernormal growth rate, which exists for few years. After that, the shares will go at, the shares decline and grow at a constant rate for indefinite period. So whenever you see 2 growth rates in the question, you need to use this multiple growth rate model to solve the problem. So there are 5 steps. Step number 1 is, you will calculate. Once again, let us see the calculation. Step number 1 is calculation of dividend stream during supernormal growth period. Step number 2 is, you need to find the calculation or PV of dividend stream. So you need to find the present value of dividend stream for supernormal growth period using A3 table. Next, in the step number 3, you will calculate the value of the equity share at the end of the supernormal growth period, or whatever the years the supernormal growth period is there. After that, you will be finding the price at the end of that supernormal growth period. Here the supernormal growth rate is for 3 years. So at the end of the 3 years, you need to find this price. Now once you are done with the price at the end of the supernormal growth period, you need to calculate the PV of that price what you obtain in the 4th step. And in the 5th step, you need to add both the present value of dividend stream output plus the present value of the price at the end of the supernormal growth period. You will obtain the value of equity share. There are 5 simple steps using which you can obtain the value of equity share. So most of the times this model is asked in many examinations. So we'll try to solve some problems on this model in the coming sessions. So till then, good day, goodbye.